So like I said, looking at a protractor, we have two rows of number, a top row and a bottom row. Oh, thank you. So you have the top row and the bottom row. It doesn't matter which row you use, you just have to stay consistent. If you start with the top, you have to use the top for every one of them. If you do the bottom, you have to use the bottom for every one. So I personally like the top row because to me it's easier to see. It's closer to the edge. So when we look at point D, that line that's got point D in it right there, what's the top number there? 0. All right, now let's mark it for all of them. For the point C, what is it? 60. Point B? 85. A? 150. F? What? 180. Yeah, the top row. Okay. So I recommend you always mark all of them right off the bat. It makes your life a lot easier for trying to work these. Now, number 1 says, blank is an example of a right angle. So what you need to do is find the two numbers that are going to make the right angle. That subtract to make a right angle. How much does a right angle equal? 90. So you need to find the two numbers that subtract equal 90. All right, what two numbers are they? 150 and the 60. So you subtract those and we get 90 degrees, right? So that's this one right here. Now we need to name that angle. Remember, use 3 points. You start at the top and you follow it down. So I'm going to start here and follow it down and come over. So starting here, what point is that? C, then COA. COA, right? You could have went the other way too. You could have started over here and said AOC. Main thing is that you follow it and you don't jump across and do like ACO. That would be wrong. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. Any questions with that? Next. Let's do number 5. Now what's the measure of angle JON? So JON. So when we look at the one going through point J, what's the top number on it? What's the top number where through point J here? 130. Then what's the top number of the one going through N? 180. Okay. All right, so now we just take those two and subtract the large one, the small one from the large one. 180 minus 130 is 50. So the measure of angle JON is 50 degrees. Okay. Now I'm not going to mark them all, but if I was you, mark every single one of these, put all the numbers, then that way you can easily just see the numbers and just subtract and move on with your life. Questions with that one? All right, let's do number 14. Number 14. So it wants the measure of angle HFG. Is HFG a large angle or a small angle? A small one, right? HFG is this one right here. Okay. The two small angles always do what to equal the large angle? They add together. So I know this one plus this one equals the large angle. And you see how we have this curve here? That 120 is going to that curve. So it's saying 120 is what the large angle equals. Okay. So don't get that wrong. There's one on the test that people always mess up on, that they think that it's next to the curve, but they think it's going to like this angle here instead of the large one. On the test when you're taking it, if you have any questions, Coach Clifton or I, we can help you with that part. Like, might not be able to tell you how to do it, but we can say, oh, that 120 is going to that, right? Okay. So if I know that whatever this one is plus the 70 equals 120, how do I go backwards? Good, so subtract the 70 from the 120, and what do we get? Anybody? 50. So it's 50 degrees. Okay. Next one, number 15. It says, given that ray UW bisects angle XUV, find the two missing angle measures. How many answers am I going to have? 2. Because we need two missing angles. And then y'all remind me, what does bisects mean?
Splits in half. Goes through the middle.
So it cuts it in half. And if something's cut in half, each side is what? Equal, right? Or congruent, either way. Okay? So, I know that UW is my bisector. So it's cutting it in half. Is 140 the large angle or the small one of the small ones?
Large.
It's the large one, right? So it's going to this big old curve. Okay? So if I have the totals 140, what do I do to figure out what the two equal parts are? Divide by 2 and 70. So this one's 70 and this one's 70. Questions that one? All right, mark out number 16. We're not doing 16. Okay. All right, let's do number 18. Number 19. Now this is one we've been doing just in the past few days. All these angles here, because we got to look for x, are these interior or exterior angles? Interior. And all three interior angles add up to what inside of a triangle? 180. So I'm going to make an equation. 2x plus 3x plus 55 equals how much? 180. Now we just solve for x. Combine like terms. 2x plus 3x? 5x plus 55. Now what's the next step? Subtract 55 on both sides. 5x equals how much? 125. Then we divide by, whoops, that's a terrible 5. I don't know why I keep wanting to do that. All right, and x is equal to? 25. Am I finished?
No. Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I just said find x, right? All right, number 21. This angle right here. Is that interior or what?
Exterior.
That's an exterior angle. What are these two?
Interior.
So remember, we learned that the theorem says that if you have two non-adjacent interiors, they add to equal the exterior one. Okay? Those two interior ones add together, and we set it equal to the exterior ones. So in my equation, I'm going to say 3x plus what?
45.
Plus 45 equals what? 4x plus 18. Okay? Two interior ones, non-adjacent interior ones, add to equal the 4x plus 18. Now we just solve for x. So, a lot of y'all like to bring the x to the left side. It doesn't matter which side you bring it to. But I'm going to subtract that 4x to bring it to the left. Minus 4x. I'm going to do it all in one step. And how do I get that 45 to the right? Subtract it. And then I have 3x minus 4x is how much? Negative 1, right? So our negative x. 18 minus 45? Negative 27. Last step, class?
Divide by negative 1.
Divide by negative 1. X equals 27. Am I finished?
Yes.
Yes, said find the value of x. We found it. All right, first thing, mark out number 27. We're not going to do 27. But we're going to work 23 together. So it says, given the measure of angle SQT equals 105, find the measure of RQT, angle RQT. SQT, is that the large one or one of the small ones?
Big one.
It's the large one, right? Okay. Then RQT is then the small one here, right? So it said SQT is 105. So the large one is 105. We've got to figure out what RQT equals. So what do we say the two small ones do what to equal the large one? they add. So I know this one plus this one equals this one. So I'm going to say 7x plus 33 plus 5x equals 105. Now we solve for x. We've got to combine like terms. All right, so because that became 12x plus 33 equals 105. Subtract 33. 12x equals 72. Divide by 12. X equals 6. Am I finished?
No.
If you got a decimal, then something, you messed up somewhere along the way.
No, I did that. I just sent it to you.
We're not done.
So we're not done. Why?
You have to plug it in.
Find RQT.
Yeah, it says find RQT, right? So that's 5x. Is that saying 5 plus x, 5 minus x, 5 times x, 5 divided by x? What is it? It's multiplied, right? Anytime you have a number next to a variable, it's multiplying. So instead of 5 times x, it's going to be 5 times what? 6, not 60. And that gives me 30. That's my answer.